Welcome back to China Now. In this episode, we'll discuss how Chinese families are investing internationally, in particular, how real estate investments are being structured in cities like London.
Having created substantial private wealth in China, many Chinese families seek diversification by investing in global cities like London, which they know well. And despite Brexit, this demand from Chinese investors shows no sign of abating. A recent study from Knight Frank showed that 1 in 10 prime London properties was purchased by a Chinese investor. From a residential property structuring perspective, the law has changed in recent years, so many tax and legal advisors here in London are working with Chinese clients to help review and ensure those structures remain appropriate. From a commercial property perspective, there are still opportunities to structure the investment of UK property through funds and other vehicles in the key offshore centres.
Definitely, the Chinese enthusiasm about this country and this country's property, education, legal system is growing and growing, particularly given the trend of the Chinese students coming over to this country to study. And when they go back to China or they stay, they will have lots of discussions with their family members and also their friends to talk about their experience in this country and to persuade people to come, maybe just to do a visit. But that's a starting point. It's always a starting point.
Now, for the Chinese private client market who are investing very heavily into the UK, particularly into the Northwest, still into London, it's more important now than it has been previously to take advice right at the very beginning. There are still structuring options available, and again, coming back to the offshore angle, if you're working with a well-experienced, a reputable, and a well-regulated offshore fiduciary provider, it can give you, a larger degree of asset protection. It links you in with the UK tax advisor market, so your trustees and your corporate directors are already very well plugged into the UK tax system as well. And they also have a very good relationship with the UK tax authorities. So you have an excellent way of structuring your assets in an offshore vehicle, but still having a really good knowledge and understanding of the UK tax system.
One of the things which we found in our experience, which many people, many high net worth individuals around the world don't appreciate, is that if they have an habitual residence in the UK, there is a risk that the English courts may take jurisdiction in a matrimonial dispute. And so it's possible, for example, if the family have a house in London, the children are being educated at English boarding schools, that in the event of a matrimonial dispute, the English court may take jurisdiction. In those circumstances, not only will they deal with the breakdown of the marriage, they may also be dealing with the resolution in relation to the assets.
In a situation such as that, the orders that are able to be made can be quite wide-ranging and can have impacts upon not just property, but, for example, family businesses as well. And so people need to take early advice on that particular situation, not least because London has got a reputation globally for being a jurisdiction which is quite friendly often towards a wife in a situation such as that she in London would get a better outcome out of a divorce than she might do in some jurisdictions. So there's often a sprint for the High Court where a situation develops where advice is needed on a breakup of a marriage.
Chinese residents moving to the UK, getting your bank accounts in order before you arrive, getting assets in appropriate structures before you arrive can be very beneficial from day one. So in the UK, we have the option of only paying tax on your UK income, and as long as it's structured appropriately, your non-UK income that stays outside the UK will only be taxed when you bring it in. Now, that can obviously save an awful lot of money if you have substantial wealth. And it's also good practice getting your structures and your arrangements in a tax-efficient order before you arrive in the UK.
We have heard that professional advice is crucial on structuring investments in jurisdictions like the UK and Switzerland. Using Western expertise to manage a family's wealth on an international basis can create real value for clients in China. In the final episode, we will discuss how professionals interested in exploring the China market can do so with confidence and learn from the experience of those who have gone before.